Good day, Malvern Prep students and parents. Welcome to ninth grade Biblical Studies. My name is Mr. Kelly and I am the instructor for this course. A little bit about me and my background, who I am, how I got here, and my educational experience. So I grew up in the Norristown area. I went to Malvern, graduated from Malvern in 1988. I left Malvern and went to Merrimack College on an Augustinian scholarship in North Andover, Massachusetts. Unfortunately, 11 weeks into my freshman year, I sustained a life-altering spinal cord injury. After spending 8 months in the hospital between Thomas Jefferson University and McGee Rehab, I matriculated to St. Joe's University the following fall. I graduated from St. Joe's in 1993 with a degree in economics and philosophy. I started teaching theology at Malvern Prep. Jim Stewart hired me fall of 1994. After my first year of education at Malvern, I decided that I truly loved the experience. So in addition to staying at Malvern as a teacher, I began my graduate degree at Villanova University, where I earned an MBA in finance. In addition to teaching at Malvern, I also instruct classes at St. Joe's University in micro and macroeconomics and a few other local universities. I work as an adjunct professor of economics. Since this is biblical studies, we should begin with a definition of the Bible. The Bible is a collection of writings by human authors inspired by God, which records and reveals God's plan for and involvement in human history. Broadly speaking, the Bible is divided into two sections or testaments. The Old Testament, which contains 46 books, tells the story of the covenant God made with the Israelites and the promise of a Savior. And the New Testament tells the story of the covenant that God made through all people with His Son, Jesus Christ. We will divide our study of the Bible between the first term and the second term almost equally. Might spend a bit more time on the Old Testament, but we'll definitely have some academic exercises related to both the Old and New Testament, because this is a Catholic school and it is taught from the perspective of our Christian moral values. Even when we discuss the Old Testament, we will relate the stories, ideas, and lessons of the Old Testament to the message of Christ in the New Testament. Let's review the grading policy and course expectations for biblical studies. Biblical studies has two course grade determinants. The first is test and quizzes, which constitute 65% of the grade. Tests will be announced well in advance, at least generally 4 to 5 days, if not a week in advance of next test. Students will be given ample time to prepare and be reminded to prepare every day in class. Likewise, students will be given via email, provided via email, questions and answers and notes to study from. I always say this is theology, but there are no mysteries. So for tests, students will have ample time. Likewise, many quizzes, students will be given at least a few days notice. However, there will be unannounced quizzes. Students are expected to review notes and course materials on a daily basis. Students are also expected to complete homework readings. So for instance, students may be asked to read a few chapters from the Bible. Students are expected to study every night, even if homework is not explicitly assigned. So test and quizzes, 65% of total grade. Projects / papers, 35% of total grade. Students will be given detailed information / instructions in class through email and available on Malvern in regards to projects and papers. They will also be given ample time to execute on these assignments. Students are encouraged to ask questions well in advance before due dates. What are students supposed to bring with them to class every day? Obviously, you need a pen or pencil. You need a notebook dedicated to theology. you need a folder for handouts. Likewise, you need a laptop/computer to bring with you every day. Students are expected to have cell phones off and out of sight at all times in class. A cell phone is not a substitute for a computer. Biblical Studies is a spiritual development class, so a large percentage of this course, and it's impossible to quantify this, is the spiritual growth and development of a young man. The reason why you are at Malvern is because your parents/guardians believe that Malvern is the best place for you to develop into a morally centered young man who understands their ethical responsibilities to themselves and others against the backdrop of our Augustinian values. So a good portion of this class is how are you developing spiritually. It's impossible to give you a grade for this, but it's an important aspect to the theology curriculum at Malvern Prep. Good luck with your study of biblical studies. I will be around anytime you need assistance with anything.